go, y'all. It is day 7. Come on, we out here now. Come on, it is day 7. You are hanging in there and you are doing great at it. So in case you're new here and this is your first time, I am Pastor Mittery Gibbs, and I have the absolute pleasure and honor of pastoring one of the best churches on the planet, Grace and Mercy Family Ministries, and we're located in Middletown, Connecticut, and we would absolutely love to have you to come and to fellowship with us. If this is your first time and you're like, hey, this devotional that you're referring to, how do I get that? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Let me tell you how. You would go to your phone, and if you've got an Android device, you're going to go to the Play Store and you can download our church app. Or if you've got an Apple phone, you would want to go to the Apple Store and download the app that way. And in our devotional, what you will find is that we've got a daily scripture, and we usually give you 2 different translations. And listen, that's so important to be able to look at a scripture from various vantage points and perspectives, and really inviting God's presence and, from what we learned earlier, God's wisdom into our time with God. And so you'll see those scriptures that are in there. We have a declaration. We even have a prayer prompt. And of course, my absolute favorite is our reflection question. So for today, we are going to be in the book of Ephesians. We're going to look at Ephesians 6 and 18. And how many of you know that prayer is a critical part of our strategy? So hint, this is our year of divine strategy. So really, what is a critical piece of that strategy is going to be your prayer life. So let's look at Ephesians 6 and 18. And I'm going to read from the Passion Translation. And it says, pray passionately in the Spirit, as you consistently intercede with every form of prayer at all times. Pray the blessings of God upon all his believers. And so in the scripture, we hear about us praying consistently. We hear about us praying all the different types of prayer and interceding for believers. And some of us might read that and feel a bit discouraged. But I'm here to actually encourage you on today that this is not about counting up how many times you missed it or how many times you weren't consistent. Because the beautiful thing is, while you are in your prayer time with God, this is the perfect time to reflect on what might have been some of those obstacles that kind of blocked me from being consistent. And now, how do I build a plan, or AKA a strategy, to build my consistency? And listen, consistency does not happen overnight. We miss it sometimes we hit it. But what happens is we learn to be agile and to continue to strive after getting into the presence of God. And so I'm going to share with you the reflection question for today. But you got to promise me that you are not going to focus on the negatives, because we're looking at how do we build our consistency, not what kept us from being consistent. So do you promise? I'm listening. Okay. What about you over there? All right. Okay, just checking. All right, so let's read our reflection question for today. The reflection question says, how consistent has my prayer life been? And what needs to shift? That's really where I would want to encourage us to really dig in, is what do we need to shift to help our prayer life to be more consistent? So I really want to encourage you to spend some time and really look at, how can I build my consistency? And understand that it's not always necessarily about quantity, but it is about quality. So how do I make sure that I'm really turning off the distractions to get into the presence of God? How do I find a time that really works for me? And you might have to play around with some different things. And most importantly, inviting God to be able to lead and guide you as you're building this prayer strategy on today. So listen, have an amazing, amazing day, and know that God got you, and there is some amazing wisdom and strategy coming your way for today. Be blessed, and we'll see you tomorrow.